Hello everyone, my name is Phoenix. I'm the legal advisor for Exceed the Bar. We are a company who specialize in legal advisory or providing legal advisory and business psychology services. One of the services that we offer is to tutor law students and to guide them through the various LLB modules. We groom people for careers in law. And we also offer legal recruitment, law recruitment to place candidate legal practitioners, that is, pupils, candidate attorneys, in suitable positions. Our content is supplementary and complementary to all university LLB degree modules. The preamble to the Constitution of South Africa lays out several of our country's visions, but amongst these visions is the imperative to free the potential of each and every person in this country. We recognize the potential of every person, and we want every law student in particular to do well in their careers. To this end, we will seek to sharpen your legal prowess, your knowledge, your skills, and to guide you through your studies to a full in-depth understanding of law. We will also help iron out any problematic subject areas that you may encounter. Our offering includes practical visual skills and things that you may not be taught at law school or university. Our materials are loaded with tips and efficient ways of processing things in law. As part of our post-study services, we endeavor to offer law firms and their principals with best matched students, readily chiseled for their articles or pupillage, and to place students on a solid footing to a career in law. You can browse our website at www.exceedthebar.com. Our contact details are included at the end of this particular workshop. Thank you for joining us. So what we have here is the table of contents. It is the framework, the outline for our course on how to study law. This will all not be covered in the first video, but we have decided to break this framework into several videos in order to get bite-sized information relevant to each chapter. So this particular video that you're listening to now is on Before You Study Law, Balance Your Attitude. There's a reason why we want to first sum up where you are in law before you actually start studying law. The second video will be on how to confront your study material, wherein we deal with things like how to study the study guide, textbooks, legislation, case law, etc. There are specific things that you need to take note of in order to study that, and study is an active process, so you need to actually engage the material. Law is a vast subject. It can be quite heavy and taxing on people. There's a lot of reading, but that doesn't mean that it's difficult. There is a specific way to approach it. The third video is on how to make notes, text notes, mind maps, tabulation notes, etc. And making notes is vital, not just to your study of law or your legal studies, but to your career in general. All right, just imagine one day you are a attorney and you are counseling a client, and then you have to brief your advocate or whoever you've referred the case to, and they will discuss matters with the judge, whether it's in chambers or in court, or with the prosecutor, or if it's not a criminal case, a civil case with the other litigants and their representatives. And each of these role players in law need to be able to take their own notes. So notes and the taking of notes is vital to law. I suppose it's like a doctor in your GP, and he's got to take certain kinds of notes relevant to your health. The same, you will take notes relevant to a person's particular legal matter or problem. The fourth video is on how to get organized for study. I label study as the administration of knowledge. And think about it. If you have a filing system, a process, a way of studying law, you're actually administrating knowledge. And the purpose behind that is to get the information, the knowledge under your fingertips so that you can find answers in a jiffy, that you can get solutions to legal problems very quickly because you know where and how you have filed them. The fifth video is on developing good study habits, and that includes all of the above. But if you get into the right study habits now, I promise you it will serve you far in your career. Experienced, seasoned attorneys, advocates, lawyers, judges, the best of the best have the best kinds of study habits and administrative skills. And that is what has set them up for law. If you get the principles of what I'm talking about in this course, it will help you, I promise you. So before you study law, you need to balance your attitude. And what are we talking about there? We're talking about, there we've got the figure with Lady Justitia, the Lady of Justice, holding the scales of justice. And those scales are there to balance things. That's what scales are for. So in the one scale, you're going to have your career, and the other scale, you're going to have the why behind your career. Why are you doing what you're doing? And somewhere you need to find that balance within yourself. So you're going to be asking two questions. Why am I studying law? And what do I want after studying law? What do I want from law? Why do I want to study law? The key thing here is to find your purpose, because a clear-cut purpose will make you passionate about law. If you're not passionate about law, you're not going to go too far in law. You're going to know the gist of law and how it works, but it's going to bore you. If you want to go far in law, the people who are the key names in law today, just go think of them. I'm sure you can think of at least 5 famous lawyers in South Africa, dead or alive. But these people have been passionate about law, and if you go through their biographies and their stories, you will see one thing very clearly will come through. They were passionate about law. They were driven to do something with law. And so they had found their purpose in law. I want you to do the same, because I want you to excel in your career. So first, consider your attitude to law. Why are you studying law? Well, there's a couple of reasons. These are some of the most popular reasons why people are studying law. There are other reasons. But you need to have a look and think, what is it that drives you and interests you in law? And there are a couple of reasons there. It's okay to say, I don't know why I'm studying it. Hey, that's a good point. And that's at least being honest with yourself. I want to make a difference. Yeah, well, then you should become an advocate, because you have an advocacy that's going to drive you. What is your interest? Human rights, children's rights, women's rights. You want to change certain tax systems, maybe. I don't know. I want to make money. That's another big reason that people usually give, because they see what's going on in the media. So I want to be like Harvey Specter, a guy living on the 20th floor penthouse in New York, wherever he is, and he's just coining it, and he's wearing all the top cushy suits and dating all the pretty women and whatever. That's maybe a bit sexist. You could be a woman that's wanting to be Judge Judy. I don't know. But the point is, there are several reasons for you studying law. So you need to work out what are those reasons, and where do you see yourself once qualified. There are different posts in law, different occupations in law, ranging from Chief Justice to prosecutor, Chief Legal Officer at a big company, a paralegal maybe. And all of these roles are highly important. They don't get paid the same, but they're highly important. and highly fulfilling to the people who fill those roles. So what is it you want to do? It's usually becomes a dice-up between becoming an advocate or an attorney, although now that distinction is slowly being withered away into one being called a legal practitioner in South Africa. But whatever, where do you see yourself once qualified? And that answer will also tell you whether you need to study further or not. I'd like you to write a self-declaration, because this will help define your purpose in law. So again, there it is, your 2 questions. Answer them. Make a note to yourself. I want to study law because, or once qualified, I see myself fulfilling the following role in law. And paint yourself a picture. Yeah, I'm going to have my LLD in 10 years from now, and I'm going to graduate cum laude. Whatever, it's up to you. But set yourself that vision of who you are, why you're doing this, and where you are going. And this will help you in dark days in law. You know, in law, it's not the easiest of degrees, simply because it's a lot of information to absorb, possibly the most information that one must absorb in comparison to other degrees. My advice for cultivating the right attitude is to get passionate about law and find what interests you during your studies. You need to be eager to learn, obviously. If you're not eager to learn, you're going to be yawning and falling asleep at the desk and thinking about TV, the PlayStation, friends, movies, girlfriends, whatever. You will soon learn that you can't know everything in law. It's a vast field. I mean, it covers everything from family law to tax law to cyber law to medical law to environmental law, etc. You need to argue and challenge different perspectives. And it doesn't matter whether you are going to be working on the criminal side or the civilian side of law or civil side of law. There are always perspectives. There's different ways of looking at the information at hand and different ways of solving legal problems. And you just need to keep yourself open to all the different possibilities that there are. You certainly cannot remember it all. Yeah, don't even try to remember your law rote. You're not a parrot. Law is something that is very active, and it requires you to think and apply yourself. There's no right or wrong answer generally. There are right answers and there are wrong answers, but that's all up to you how you argue your case. Some people have argued wrong answers and won because they've been very astute in how they've argued their case. Right, so you certainly can't remember it all. Decide to drive your mind way beyond its limits. You're going to grapple with some very morally taxing topics and scenarios and legal problems in law. And so you've got to be able to think out the box, and you've also got to be able to transcend those moral dilemmas that you might find yourself in. You need to become obsessed with law and justice, justice being the operative word there, because law is very red letter, or some people call it black letter, meaning that it is very rigid. There's right and there's wrong, and rules are rules. But then, of course, there is justice, which is more concerned. It's not concerned with right and wrong, but it's concerned with fairness and humanity. And so here in South Africa, our constitution of the country, Constitution of South Africa 1996, puts an accent on justice. It's called with different concepts like Ubuntu, Batupele, etc., etc. So law is also an omnipotent profession. It spans human existence. So it's been around forever, probably as long as prostitution. But if you think about it, you get to deal with almost every profession in existence in law, because everybody is able to raise a legal dispute somewhere or another whether it's in construction, whether it's in engineering, accounting, medicine, pharmaceuticals, insurance, whatever. It spans human existence. Promise that you will never give up, because law can get difficult. Trust me, it can get difficult, but don't give up. Don't give up. No matter how hard it gets, don't give up. Read, research, and inquire about things that you've never seen or heard before. A lot of you are new to law. You're fresh out of school, matric. And so you have little life experience. You don't have experience working. Most of you haven't been married or divorced or had kids or whatever, and it's different from in the movies, guys. So you need to be able to let your mind stretch and be open to different things. Sooner or later, you will need to specialize, and this will come apparent in the subjects you tend to do well in. I saw, before I even started studying law, that, internet and everything digital is the future. And so I made it my task, my ambition to become a cyber lawyer. Law is an omnipotent profession, spans human existence. We've touched on that. You can do well in all the subjects when you understand how to study law. And that is why I'm giving this course to you free of charge. I want you to do well. Ask when you don't understand. Some people have less life experience than others to relate to different scenarios. Like I said, you're fresh out of school. Not agter die ore, as they say in Afrikaans. Be eager to see how both sides see things and be open to new perspectives. And also one thing, guys, that I haven't mentioned here but very vital is you need to develop the ability to call a spade, because law deals in truths, facts. Call it what it is. Don't sugarcoat it. So we are going to turn in the next video to how to confront your study material. This is because when you are new to varsity or new to studies, or even if you're not new, inevitably you are going to be given prescribed and recommended material. And your varsity or your college is going to give you access to various online libraries, which includes repositories of theses, dissertations, journal articles, textbooks, etc., etc. And they are also going to give you access to certain paid online databases and media. In law, a big one is LexisNexis, which is one of my favorites. But we'll get to that when we deal with that shortly. We're going to explore each source in turn, how to tackle each. The study guides, the textbooks, statutes, case law, journal articles, news media. So it's not just about reading these things, guys. Reading it is going to not make sense for you. You actually have to get involved and interact with your study material, and we're going to show you how to do that. We're not going to tell you how to find the sources here. By the way, we do have another workshop or a free course video dealing with acing your legal skills, and in there we show you how to source various kinds of material and from which databases, free databases. These things, you can do things with them in order to also access them offline, given that we have things like load shedding, etc. Remember, though, that study is an active process, so you're going to have to engage with the material. But here, what we want you to understand is that you must be alert, awake, and hungry for the information. You need to be passionate about it. You need to wrestle with the material. This is WWE.law on steroids. It's easy, it's not easy, but if you follow these tips, you will shine. Here is our contact details. Please feel free to contact us. We are eager to help you and put you on the right track. We're also eager to help iron out those problematic areas that you experience in law. Don't be embarrassed if you find that you've run into a problem understanding certain material. It's easy not to understand a lot of the material in law, and so we can walk you through it. There's a list of the courses that we do. These are the most popular LLB modules in any university in South Africa. We don't have all of these online right now. You will just have to check periodically which we do. But hopefully by the end of the semester, we should have more or less everything online. We're doing it through the same basis of video lectures, and then there's a lot of free material that we're giving with this, including the hard to find case laws and various study notes and aids, Key though right now is that we have the free booster courses such as this one, How to Study Law. We've got ACE Legal Research. We've got Find Your Legal Niche, How to Read and Summarize Case Law Fast. And these are things that will help you throughout your law in any subject as well as in your career. I encourage you to have a look at all our videos and stay connected to us. We enjoyed having you listening to this, and thank you for listening to this. Please do click on the next video.